Hello folks, in this video, the question asks us to find trigonometric value of this expression. Let's get started. This root 2 reminds me of right isosceles triangle ratios. What was it? The triangle has two equal angles, which is 45, and the right angle. So these two sides length has to be equal as well. Let's call A. And the hypotenuse is equal to a root 2, we can find from Pythagorean theorem. So the ratios are 1, 1, root 2. We can find cosine 45 equals to adjacent side, which is a, over hypotenuse, which is a root 2. After cancelling a, 1 over root 2. 45 degrees is pi over 4 in radian. So we can say cosine pi over 4 is equal to root 2 over 2. We are going from inside square root to outside square root. Before plugging the cosine, I want to factor out these two here. Let's substitute pi over 4. Two times 1 minus cosine pi over 4. I'm going to use double angles formula here to get rid of the 1. Let's remember the formulas. Cosine 2 alpha is equal to, the third one works this time, 1 minus 2 sine square alpha. What does that mean? Let me write it down here. If pi over 4 is a double angle here, if it is 2 alpha, the angle should be pi over 8 means alpha. First parts are same, substituting them. 1 minus 2 sine square pi over 8. In this step, we can distribute this negative sign into the parentheses. So it is 2 times 1 minus 1 plus 2 times sine square pi over 8. 1 and negative 1 cancel. Let me rewrite this expression only. 2 times 2 times sine square pi over 8. 2 times 2 is 2 square. So squares cancel square roots. So we get rid of the third square root. Now we just have 2 square root here. We got 2 times sine pi over 8. In this step, these two are common factor here. Let's factor them out. It gives us 2 times 1 plus sine pi over 8. Next, I want to use cofunction identities. Sine alpha is equal to cosine 90 degrees minus alpha. 90 degrees is pi over 2 in radian. So sine pi over 8 is equal to cosine pi over 2 minus pi over 8, which is cosine 3 pi over 8. We can substitute now. Now we can apply double angles formulas again. Cosine 3 pi over 8 is equal to, this time I want to use the second formulas to get rid of the 1. So is equal to 2 times cosine square 3 pi over 16 minus 1. Let's substitute this one. So we end up with 2 times 1 plus 2 times cosine square 3 pi over 16 minus 1. Again, positive 1 and negative 1 cancels. We will get rid of the inside square root because we have 2 squared and cosine squared here. Squares cancel square root. Rewriting what we got. 2 plus 2 times cosine 3 pi over 16. As you can see, we are repeating the steps. Now we can factor these two out. I'm gonna use double angles formulas one more time. We have 1, so get rid of this 1. We have to use this formula to cancel positive and negative 1. We will need half of 3 pi over 16, which is 3 pi over 32. And don't forget negative 1 here. And positive and negative 1 cancels again. We end up with 2 times cosine square 3 pi over 32. Finally, we are getting rid of the last square root. Squares and square root cancels, and it gives us 2 times cosine 3 pi over 32, which is our answer. To sum up, we used right isosceles triangle ratios, cofunction identities, and double angle formulas a couple of times, and basic algebra tricks. And finally, we reached trigonometric value of the given expression. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave comment what you think about the question.